What's up, Silver Screen dudes, and welcome to my last vlogging style video for this week. So we've had the 3,000 subscribers asking me anything about movies video, link above if you want to see that. We have had the 10 movies I love but everyone else hates, and because that seemed to be quite popular, I'm going to finish off with the 10 movies that I hate but everyone else loves for some reason. Full disclaimer, much like with the previous video, I recognize that these movies are good, but for reasons that I'm going to go into, I hate them with quite a strong passion. Possibly, some would argue, much too strong to be considered normal and healthy for a normal, healthy human being, but that's a different topic, I guess. So here are 10 movies that I hate, but everyone else loves. The first one is The Thin Red Line. Now, there's a huge love and respect in Hollywood for Terrence Malick. And while Badlands, his old movie, was arguably a very good movie, a lot of his new stuff I find to be so pretentious. I thought The New World, that Pocahontas movie he did, was terrible. I thought that Knight of Cups was terrible. I thought that Tree of Life was terrible. I guess there's a pattern emerging here that I'm clearly not a very Terrence Malick type of movie fan, which is fine, each to their own. But then I thought I'd give The Thin Red Line a try, because one of my good friends, Dr. Bob Cowser, who's a professor over at St. Lawrence University, by the way, link above if you want to go see us discussing the top 10 war movies of all time, we had a good long chat about that. But his favourite is The Thin Red Line, and then I realised that there's a serious cult following for this movie, and I think it is fucking horrendous. I get what the movie was going for. It was trying to explore the human nature and the human interaction with war and not make it over the top and bombastic and overly emotional, much like some would argue Saving Private Ryan was. But it's so formulaic in its execution, it is so predictable in its execution, and the thing that drove me up the wall, above everything, was the way this film was shot. Close-up shot of an individual's face, far-away shot of a big action set piece, and then nature shot. And I guess the theme that he was going with when he was doing this was obviously to say that while war's going on, there's obviously another world that we're not aware of going on around us. I get it, it's an interesting theme to explore, but to bash you over the head with that and do it again and again and again and again, and I'm not exaggerating, this is the whole layout of the movie. It is close-up shot, wide-angle shot, nature shot, copy-paste for 2 hours. It just grinds on you, man. It's like, okay, yes, I get it, I get that there's a world out there, I get that the rest of the world is carrying on while we're at war, and I get that war's a bad thing, but please, if you're going to make a war movie, can we just focus on the war that's actually going on? I hate it. Number 9 is Armageddon, and this is an interesting one because some people are going to say that people don't love this movie. I beg to differ. A lot of people say that this is what I qualify as a guilty movie pleasure. I'm not saying I like it as a guilty movie pleasure, but people defend themselves and say it's a guilty movie pleasure. No, it's not. To like this movie is to like something that is nonsensical. Ben Affleck actually says it himself. If you listen to the director's commentary on the DVD, yes, I'm ashamed I got the DVD, I don't own it anymore, so sue me. But he says he had a chat with Michael Bay, yes, that Michael Bay, saying, Michael, is it not easier to teach astronauts to be drillers than it is to teach drillers to be astronauts? And Michael Bay answers him in an oh so eloquent way, fuck off, Ben. That's what you get for talking to a man who makes movies like the Transformers, and yeah. It's horrendous. It's a movie about a group of drillers who train to be astronauts to go up into space and blow up a big freaking meteorite that's going to cause the Armageddon, that's going to cause the end of the world, and oh, it's just so poor in its execution, despite an all-star cast of Michael Clarke Duncan, Ben Affleck, Steve Buscemi, William Fichtner, Peter Stormare. It's got a great cast. But my God, it's painful to watch. And the cheese. And the thing that drives me most crazy about the song is that Aerosmith song, Don't Wanna Close My Eyes. Yes, I can't sing, but that song, Don't Want to Miss a Thing, people are saying that's their favourite Aerosmith song. Again, if you think that's the best Aerosmith song, you clearly don't like Aerosmith very much. It is horrendous from its score and soundtrack to its acting and execution. It is an abomination of summer blockbuster movie. Something that actually we shouldn't be surprised at, because you know what? Michael Bay's the king of that. My number 8 is a British movie, and I was very late to the party on this one, and my God, it's got a cult following. It's Hot Fuzz. Now, Hot Fuzz for me was a steaming mess. I mean, it had some funny moments, but I could never decide if the movie was trying to take itself seriously, if it was trying to be a satire, if it was trying to create some sort of weird style blend between the two. A lot of people would say that because I don't get that, I've missed the point of the movie. Yeah, very possibly. But if I have missed the point of the movie, in my opinion, it hasn't done its job by getting across to me. It's not because I lack some mental capacity to understand it. It's a really weird... I mean, I think what this show is also, disclaimer, I wasn't a big fan of Baby Driver, but maybe I'm just not an Edgar Wright guy. It can be, it might very well be. I'm not an Edgar Wright fan, but I thought Hot Fuzz was not a good movie. I didn't like the idea of this very, very, very by-the-book cop going to this little white picket fence British town to uncover this big cultish conspiracy theory, and the indecisiveness of whether it was a comedy, a black comedy, or whether it was a serious movie just did not work for me in any shape or form. I thought it was bad, and for a movie that's actually pegged, pun intended with Simon Pegg, but pegged to be a comedy, to bore me, and it's not the first comedy that's going to be on this list, but you gotta wonder if they've missed a beat here somewhere. So yeah, Hot Fuzz is my next entry. In my 7th entry, of course this director is gonna make the list, because it's the one that people dub to be the new Steven Spielberg in M. Night Shyamalan, and I'm going with the movie that people really love of his called Signs. Now, what's usually agreed on is that his first movie, The Sixth Sense, and then Unbreakable, people usually like, right? Then his third movie, people still say that was his last great movie. Great movie? Are you fucking kidding me? And then people are going to go as fast to say The Village is a bad movie? I am sorry. Comparatively, The Village, if you compare it to Signs, is leaps and bounds above it in terms of quality. Signs is dumb. It is a dumb movie. You have these aliens that are coming to Earth. And guess what? These invading aliens are coming to a planet that is 70% water, and guess what they're allergic to? Water! It kills them! Why are you going to do that? You never show the aliens other than in some sort of generic fashion. The jump scares are horrendous. They end up wearing tinfoil hats. It is a horrible movie. Mel Gibson is wasted in this. Joaquin Phoenix, one of the greatest actors working today, is wasted in this. The whole movie is just a grind, and it's self-indulgent. That scene with Shyamalan putting himself in, and the dialogue doesn't make sense. It's horrendous. It is absolutely horrendous, this movie. I can't get my head around the love that people like, the love that people have for it. I can't figure out why someone would love a story that is so nonsensical and so stupid that they can actually say that this is his last great movie and then diss The Village. I am lost. My number 6 entry is going to shock people. And I want to say a full disclaimer. I don't hate this movie. I just don't... yeah, exactly. Let's go with that. I don't hate this movie. I just don't understand the insurmountable, all-encompassing love that this movie has, because the 6th movie that I hate, except don't really hate, just don't really like, is The Godfather Part II. Now, Part 1 is good. I don't aspire to the belief that it is great. I would sooner watch Goodfellas or Casino or Mean Streets or than The Godfather any day of the week, or even Scarface. That's another good one. But with The Godfather Part II, people just say that this is better than the original. On that note, I disagree completely, because the fact that it's got De Niro playing a young Vito and it's got Al Pacino playing an older Michael, and it's the parallel of their lives of how Vito comes to power and how Michael eventually loses his power, or is losing his power, and is going into the spiraling descent of madness. And it is shot in such a condescending, preachy way, and the sepia tone that the movie uses adds nothing to the movie. It doesn't make it feel like an old movie. It sounds like you're being beaten over the head, it sounds like you're being beaten over the head, being told, love me, I'm the greatest movie ever. And people telling me that this is the greatest movie ever, I will see your Godfather Part 2 and I will raise you a Citizen Kane. And that is my honest belief. This is by no means of the imagination a bad movie. But what I hate about it is the ridiculous love that people have for it. Or as if almost they're jumping on the bandwagon. It's like, it's become trendy to hate Avatar and to say otherwise is an abomination. And it's become trendy to hate, to love The Godfather Part 2 no matter what. And God forbid you should say otherwise, because then you don't know anything about film. Well, guess what? My honest opinion, and you guys should know that I do know a thing or two about film, is that The Godfather 2, while good, is by no means of imagination the greatest movie of all time. No way. And is by no means of imagination better than Godfather Part 1. So do I hate it? No. Do I think it's overrated? I would say it's the most overrated film of all time. Yeah, this one, I'm going to say that the Star Wars movie that I hate, that everyone else loves, is Rogue One. My God, this movie's horrendous. Now, here lies the main problem with this movie. The characters are so instantly forgettable. Now, when you have a movie of which you know the ultimate destiny of the characters involved, and you know how the events are going to unfold. Not the finite details, I appreciate that, but the overarching story, you know how it's going to unfold. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it or if you're a complete muppet. So this happens between episodes 3 and 4, and it is essentially how the rebels get the plans for the Death Star. In the old movies, it was fine. Many boffins died to bring us these plans. Okay, cool. People died. Okay, so we're going to know about these people that died in order to get the plans for the Death Star. And these people really are cannon fodder. They are so instantly forgettable. And the main concern I have is that as I said, when you know what the ultimate destiny and the overarching story is going to be of a movie, and so you know the ultimate fate of these characters, whether they live or die, you need to make these characters seriously engaging, like really engaging. Almost that the victory, which results in most of them dying, feels like a tragic victory. You know, a quiet sorrow, a shallow victory, because yeah, they've got what they need, but at what cost? You need to be left feeling that. And at no stage in this movie did that happen. After 3 showings now, I still could not tell you all of the characters' names. Donnie Yen, yeah, was quite cool. I can't even remember his character's name now, which is why I'm saying Donnie Yen. Felicity Jones, Jinnah, so there you go. See, I'm struggling, and I'm not putting this on, guys. I legitimately cannot remember the names. Cassian Andor, yeah, okay. Diet Han Solo, as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, it was a bit interesting. People going, oh my God, it's great to see the rebels, you know, the nitty-gritty side of, you know, they actually killed, you know, their intel and their spies in one of those opening scenes, and it's like, not a single fuck is given by yours truly. I don't care about these characters. And take all of that and then compare that to the overacting of what's-his-face, fucking Forrest Whitaker. I can't even remember the character's name. It's so forgettable. The only character who I can remember is K2SO, the droid. He was fun. I liked him. And the other thing that I thought this movie was horrendous about is that whereby people can make an argument that The Force Awakens was just, you know, a nostalgia wank fest. It's like, yep, frankly, I like having my nostalgia stroked, so that worked fine with me. This one was geekdom and fanboyism in its worst possible form. Let's throw R2-D2 and C-3PO in there for no apparent reason without adding anything to the story. Why? Because the fans want to see them. Let's throw a computer animated Princess Leia in there. Why? Because the story has to end with her spaceship and it's got to be right on the nose. Let's throw Darth Vader in there. And who they ruined, now I'm not talking about that scene, you know, that lightsaber scene, incredible, one of the greatest lightsaber scenes ever. But I'm very sorry, a 1 minute scene does not save a nearly 2 hour movie. And when can we just realise one thing, people? Darth Vader made a dad joke when he's choking, I think his general's name is Riddick, is that it? Played by Ben Mendelsohn. Again, can't remember the character. When he's choking him on Mustafar and he goes, "Be careful not to choke on your aspirations." It's like, wow, Vader just did a dad joke. We just got a dad joke. What are you doing? And even James Earl Jones, God bless him, the true voice of Darth Vader. I don't know if he was out of practice, but the delivery of his lines, none of it worked. And you've got the original voice of Darth Vader there, man. Direct him better. This movie didn't work. Hate it. Oh, my number 4, you guys, if you've seen that 3,000 subscribers Ask Me Anything video, this is probably the movie that makes me the most angry. My number 4 movie that I hate is Gone Girl. Now, I can't get my head around the praise that this movie gets for this being Fincher's masterpiece, for this being a very noir tale of murder and deceit. Yeah, okay, it's all of those things. Glaring fucking plot hole. Ben Affleck is framed for the murder of his wife. Yes. Ben Affleck and Rosamund Pike disclaimer are very good in this movie. And David Fincher's tone, as with all his movies, is very, very absorbing. It does draw you in. You do feel invested in this movie. That's fine. But there's this turning point in this movie, that's when it loses me. When she shows up at the end of the movie covered in blood and she goes up to Affleck and gives him a hug and he whispers, "You bitch," in her ear, knowing that he's been set up. Okay, cool. But she does this in broad daylight in sight of the entire fucking village. She needs to people need to realise at that stage that obviously Ben Affleck isn't guilty. Okay, so he doesn't need to take her back. Why does he take her back? Has she manipulated him into some way taking back? No. There's no reason for him to take her back. None. It just feels like someone who doesn't understand opposite sexes wrote this script. No man in his right mind is going to be set up like that, and then in that one moment when he is exhumed of responsibility and is proven innocent, is he just going to say, take her back? And it's not like they come back happily together. He still fucking hates her. And, the last 20 minutes of the movie, it's this downward spiral of their relationship. He punches her in the stomach and calls her a fucking cunt, I believe. It's like, frankly, I would love to call this movie a cunt, but I believe it lacks the depth or capacity to give pleasure. So, frankly, this movie can fuck off, because the plot hole is gaping, and to this day, no one has been able to explain to me without some cockamamie explanation about how, it's because he felt trapped and the story caught up to him. No, sorry. No. If you're going to set a movie in that sort of tone of reality, and there is that much of a gaping plot hole that the man can be exhumed of responsibility and is proven innocent, and he can get rid of this horrible, nasty bitch who has set him up to look like a murderer, and he's proven innocent, kick the bitch out. There's no reason for him to take her back. So the movie falls flat on its face. Fail. And my number 3, there was always going to be a Will Ferrell movie on here, and I'm going with the one that I probably hate the most, a bit like The Godfather 2, because it gets so much love. But this isn't just this movie, this is all Will Ferrell movies. I don't like this guy's comedy, and the one which gets hailed as the king of his comedies, and the one which I hate the most, The Anchorman. Oh my god, what was up with this movie? You're a pirate whore. I'm going to slap you in public. I think not to sound homophobic, because I'm far from it, but Will Ferrell's shtick is basically pretending as if he's acting as if he's almost 80% gay, getting the shirt off, and then making, doing sort of, self-indulgent body comedy. His comedy just falls flat. Do you know what it felt like? It felt like just a poorly executed episode of The Simpsons. I mean, the prime example scene being when and I'm not laughing at the film here, when Ron Burgundy and Christina Applegate's character have sex and she says, keep it discreet, keep it quiet. It's a direct rip-off of when Skinner and Mrs. Krabappel have sex and, Homer lets it out to Marge, and the whole thing's a rip-off. And I'm sorry, mustaches and butterfly collars are not funny. This isn't funny. This isn't funny. This isn't funny. Nothing you do is funny. And that jazz flute, one of the most excruciating scenes in modern day cinema. The man isn't funny. He's, I'm in a ball of emotion. He's horrendous. His comedic timing is off. His choice of roles is horrendous. This is not a funny man. I hate Will Ferrell. He is a bad actor. I don't like his shtick. I don't like his comedy. Fuck him and fuck this movie. Oh, my penultimate one. This one I got into a big argument with some people. It's a Tarantino movie. It is The Hateful Eight. Now, this movie was confusing because big Tarantino fan right here. It's not like previous entry with fuckhead Will Ferrell, who I legitimately hate. All of his work I hate. But the thing about The Hateful Eight is that I think Tarantino lost sight of what's important here. Now, as we all know, he's a very stylized director, from the way he shoots movies to his choice of shots, to his dialogue, to his choice of actors and which characters they play. He's very avant-garde. And he had a big beef with the whole, digital arrival into cinema, and he wanted to be a purist and stick to 128mm, and he wanted to shoot the whole thing in what he called glorious Panavision. Problem: the whole movie is set inside of a haberdashery. The point of glorious Panavision, which he to a degree put to use in the first 5 minutes of the movie, is to create these big sweeping shots, mountain ranges and things like that, which he does in the first 10 minutes of the movie. But frankly, unless you want it to be a documentary, you can't do 10 minutes of just mountain shots. Now, I don't see what the big beef about putting the whole thing in Panavision was, when 90% of your movie is set inside of a wooden cottage, aka a haberdashery. There's no need for Panavision. So your big hubbub about, I want to be a purist, actually kind of fell flat on its face. So I find it to be a little bit condescending that on the backside of that, you then didn't want to actually let the mainstream cinemas, like what we have here in London, like Cineworld and Odeon and whatnot, push your movie out. So I thought that was a bit of a condescending cunt move. Secondly, I thought the script was horrendous. I could have guessed straight off the bat who was the culprit who poisoned everyone. That was obvious. Although he was bringing back some of his old favourite actors like Samuel L. Jackson, Tim Roth, Michael Madsen, none of them really very serviceable in this movie. They were all very much one-dimensional characters, and the over-the-top racism. Now stop there, because I know some of you are now already getting ready in the comment section going, well, Tarantino movies are inherently racist. I'm like, yes. But there's a difference between, let me quote you a scene from Pulp Fiction, one of the early scenes, just after they've got off the car and before Jules and Vince go up in the lift. He says, you remember Antoine Rockamora used to call him Tony Rocky Horror, half black, half Samoan, and then Vincent answers him, yeah, I remember him, fat, right? Well, I wouldn't go so far as to call the brother fat. I mean, motherfucker Samoan, what's a brother gonna do? It's like, that's funny, it's racist, you're stereotyping all Samoans to be fat, but it's funny, and there's a stylization to it. When you're saying repeatedly, I got him to suck my big black dongus, without any sort of context, just for the sake of saying it almost. Samuel L. Jackson taking a white man's head and getting him to suck his big black dongus. It's like, wow, we've sunk to this. I mean, that's not funny or creative or very interesting at all. So actually all we're left with is a group of characters in a haberdashery, all one-dimensional characters, all of them just literally mailing in a check and not turning in very good performances, with a story that's as predictable as it sets out to be. Like, there are no surprises here. The person who you think poisons the drinks and the food is exactly that person. I mean, it is obvious. If you've got any attention to detail in the movie, you can guess it. And then we've got this long drawn out process of who could it be, who could it be, who could it be, when actually if you've got a brain on you, you know who it is. Then all of the really, really insane gore starts in the typical Tarantino way, and like in the end of Django Unchained, which to be fair I like Django, but at the end battle turned into a big fucking spaghetti splatterfest. We're left with this, with people lying around in pools of blood, but it's over the top. You know, you can argue that is another good example in Reservoir Dogs. Tim Roth spends nearly the whole movie in a pool of blood, but it's never over the top. Michael Madsen slices a guy's ear off, but it's never over the top. It's contextual. It's relevant to what those characters are represented as. This is just like blood, 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 blood. Much blood, much racism, much blood. And as a result, it was very boring, very not watchable. I speak English very good. Not very watchable, I should say. And a yawn fest. And it was surprising to me that a director as creatively brilliant as Tarantino made a movie that bad. Because it's bad. Like, it's a 2 out of 10 at most. I mean, I think that's what I gave it. Again, link above. Go check out my Hateful Eight review. But not good. Really not good, man. And the movie that I hate the absolute most, my hands down most hated movie, because so many people say that it's an X-Men movie, and so many people say that this is the greatest X-Men movie ever. Hell to the nizzo, because my most hated movie is X-Men Days of Future Sucks. Oh, this movie was so dumb. The two main things, because I could go off into an hour-long rant with everything that's wrong with this movie. But let's keep this as contained as possible. The two main problems that I have with this movie. It falls into the trap that all movies that deal with time travel do, which is there's too many questions that are left unanswered. But this one, it doesn't just leave questions unanswered, it actually contradicts itself. Now, what do I mean by that? The X-Men, specifically, they need to send Wolverine back in time because his mind is the only one who won't snap if it's sent back over that course of time. To do what? They need to stop the Sentinels being created. How do they stop the Sentinels being created? They need to stop Mystique killing Trask. How do they stop Mystique killing Trask? Well, apparently they need Magneto. That's going to end well. Now, the irony in this, and I don't know what the movie was going for here, is that Magneto actually ends up being the one who nearly kills Mystique, misses her, but the result is her blood is picked up by Trask, and that's what creates the Sentinels. Now, here's where the timeline gets really fucked up, because if they didn't release Magneto in the first place, well then, no problem would have happened. I'm pretty sure that between Beast, Wolverine, and Professor X, they probably could have stopped Mystique killing Trask. Just saying. I mean, Magneto didn't help in any way, shape, or form in preventing her. In fact, he actually added fuel to the fire and caused a problem. Also, back in the modern time from whence Wolverine came back, would it not have been logical to have Magneto, played by Ian McKellen, not the younger Michael Fassbender version, interject something about, by the way, I try and do this, you might want to think about stopping me. No, we're ignoring that because reasons, because plot convenience. And then what they tried to do at the end, which drove me absolutely mad, and this is just the two things which make me think this movie sucks. For good measure, I'm going to throw in a third one, but hold that thought. But the other thing that they do that sucks is that back in the modern time, the Sentinels start killing everyone. And I thought, ooh, the movie's actually got balls. It's killing off Storm, it's killing off the main X-Men. Wow, okay. It's killing off Pyro, it's killing off Iceman. Respect, okay. Movie's got some balls to it. No, because you know what? When you've got a time when you've got a time travel movie, you've got an automatic reset button, and all they've done then is they've reset, they've changed the timeline, but then they double reset it. So they go back, Wolverine goes back in time, and he's surrounded by all of the X-Men who are not dead, so actually that whole point of killing them off and making it seem like the movie has balls was a waste of time, and it felt stakeless, and there was no actual outcome to what's happened in the events in the movie. And then he's having a chat with Charles Xavier, and he says, I was drowning. And then it cuts back again to the alternate timeline in the past, which they'd supposedly just changed, so that should have been changed, but no, they ignored that part. And Wolverine being picked up by Stryker, except it's not Stryker, it's Mystique, something which made no sense. Why would Mystique be taking Wolverine out? How would Mystique know where to find Wolverine? So that's never answered, just because reasons, because Fox X-Men movies. And then it happens that in the actual follow-up movie, X-Men Apocalypse, it actually was William Stryker who was the one who captured Wolverine. So I'm confused here. Why would Mystique capture him if in the next movie we find out that it's actually Stryker who captured him? But why would, even if we entertain the possibility that it's Mystique who captured him, why would Mystique know where he is, and why would Mystique capture him in the first place? Magneto lobbed him into the water, surrounded and covered in metal, and pierced through with metal. There's no way she could find him. Bullshit! And just because I said for good measure. Third reason. Wolverine serves no purpose in this movie. Granted, I get it, he's the only one whose mind won't snap when it goes back. But actually, what happens when they send him back? So, he goes to talk to Beast and Charles Xavier. Charles Xavier and Beast and Wolverine are the ones who free Magneto. Granted, we do have that amazing Quicksilver scene as a kind of, sweetener to the whole deal, because that scene was fucking awesome. But what happens? With the help of Quicksilver, Wolverine, Beast, and Charles go and free Magneto. What happens? Magneto's actually the one that causes Mystique's blood to become available to Trask, and the whole movie unravels and then contradicts itself at the end, which is what I've just explained. But Wolverine ultimately serves no purpose. He, other than telling them about where Quicksilver is, and Quicksilver then helps them get Magneto out, other than that, he doesn't do anything. He goes back in time to try and talk Charles into, doing the right thing. But then here's the contradiction again. Charles is telling Wolverine before he goes back in time, you will need to help me in one of my most darkest moments. Shouldn't the line have been, you helped me in my darkest moment, I need you to go back and do that again? Because, what are we doing here? You see the problem we've created? So many questions coming out. The timeline changes completely. Don't do time travel movies because they create more problems than solutions. And in this case, they didn't create any solution. They just kept on resetting the timeline, and it became a big fucking contradiction. And as a result, it became stakeless. Stakeless. And I don't mean steak as in steak and chips. I mean stakes as in there were no stakes to the characters dying because you knew they were going to live. One of the pet peeves I have in movies. Don't kill a character just to bring them back to life. Dumb. Real dumb. Hate this movie. Woo! Let's breathe. So that's all from me for this week of vlogging, guys. Thank you so much for watching the 3000 Ask Me Anything video. Thank you so much for watching the 10 movies I love but everyone else hates. And thank you so much for watching this video, the 10 movies I hate that everyone else seems to love. By the way, just full disclaimer at the end here. If you do love these movies, that does not make you dumb, it doesn't make you wrong. Film, as I keep on saying, is one of the most subjective things in the world. If you do like these movies, big up yourself. Respect. All movies need some love from someone. So that you're not wrong. I just do not like them. Hate them in some cases. So I'm not having a go at you. I'm just expressing feelings that I have. If you love them, as I said, that's awesome. I hope you love all movies and don't have negativity towards some of them the way that I do. But please, guys, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and stay tuned this week because we've got the Best and Worst show coming back, and we've got a Dunkirk review coming up, and I know, finally, right? And also finally a Valerian and Thousand Planets review. Okay, guys, that's it from me. See ya.